Our film begins with Alex, his dad, and his mom, who migrated from Ukraine to Canada for a new life. Alex says that in their country they faced many problems, most of which were due to money and lack of jobs. However, the situation in Canada isn't much better, making their migration seem in vain. Alex's father can't find a job, and instead he relaxes and socializes with neighbors without benefit. But the house was noisy, and they also needed money to spend. His mother, struggling, finds a job as an assistant accountant, and they give her a computer to work from home. Alex often stays by her side, watching her, and at the same time, he passes the time because he has no friends. Over time, he learns how to use it and starts accessing the internet, browsing endlessly. As for his family's deteriorating situation, he felt very sorry for his mother. He was thinking if they stayed poor, he wouldn't find money to go to college, as all the universities were private. His friend, who had saved up, didn't need it. One day, he decides to make use of the computer they have. He searches the internet and finds a way to earn money, but it was a hard way, and for every 1,000 clicks, he would earn only $20. And of course, the amount was small compared to the big effort he was putting in. He would get to the point where his finger would stop from the sheer number of clicks all day. Every time he received an amount, he would hide it with his siblings for university expenses. Years passed, and Alexei was still continuing. His experience increased, he delved deeper. He was reading and learning and comprehending about the stock market, banks, and securities, and he saw that the security system on the internet was vulnerable and weak and full of loopholes and numerous. One day, his parents were arguing, so he decided to step outside for some fresh air and relax and settle down at a cafe. While watching TV, he saw them talking about a terrorist network on the internet called the dark web, which was controlled by a dangerous person named Zaid. At that moment, the television was hacked, and we heard a recorded message sent by Z. It's very clear that he is not a terrorist or anything, but he clashed with governments and global banks because they exploit the poor and the weak. On that day when he returned home, he found his mother sad and crying. We learned that the bank where she works is reducing the number of employees and they fired her. Their house has debts, and if he doesn't pay, the same bank that fired her will foreclose on their house. He sacrifices for his friend. He brings out a box with all the money he has saved from the internet over the past years and goes to his mother. He gives it to her and she was very surprised about the money. Where did it all come from? But he assures her that he earned it from online advertising sites. It was for his university expenses. She refuses as he saved it for studies. But he insists and she accepts. More important than college is not being homeless. Alexei is upset with the bank that fired his mom and plans to foreclose on their house. And it was the reason he lost all the money he had saved for years. The problem is, he can't save more, as he must apply to the university in a few months. He starts thinking of a different idea to earn money effectively. And he thinks it will be an online scam, but it has to be clever so he doesn't get caught. Zaid remembers Zaid and the dark web that he heard about in the news and he starts searching online. Indeed, he accesses the dark web, but he discovers that it's not easy. To join the members, he has to pass a test and prove his worth first. This test involves committing one crime online, and then one of the members will send him an invitation. He starts thinking about who will be the victim, and the first one he considers is Randy, the annoying kid at school who always bothers Alex and bullies him. At first, he creates a website and lists fake products that don't actually exist, offering discounts of up to 60%. Then he sends the website link to the kid and his classmate sees the products, discounts, and prices, gets excited, and immediately takes the bait. He asks his dad for the credit card to make a purchase, which turns out to be a big mistake because Alex steals the card information and transfers it to the dark web guys. This way, he successfully passes the test and sends. The first person to contact Alex from the members is named Roosevelt. He starts helping Alex and introduces him to new, easier ways to make more money. Despite the variety of products, the business was essentially a black market dealing with stolen goods. Roosevelt would send him different items by mail, and Alex's task was to sell them. This job was easy and enjoyable for Alex. And everything was going perfectly. After just 4 weeks, he actually earns about $30,000. This is the same amount he had accumulated from clicks over many years. One day, he decides to leave home and travel to a big city. Because surely the opportunities would be greater, the profits would increase, and besides, he could apply to college. One day, he manages to trick and buy a few things with a fake visa, and these things are a collection of luxury watches with unbelievable prices. The idea is that they are expensive goods and he doesn't know who to sell them to as the city is swarming with police and occupiers. But he tests a plan and heads to Chinatown to sell the watches. Despite wandering around, he fails and can't find anyone to buy from him. The person who was about to buy becomes suspicious and refuses to take them. There is someone who notices Alex and starts following him. With what? In the end, he starts a conversation with Alex as he is leaving one of the shops. He wants to buy all the watches from Alex for $5,000. But when he realizes Alex is smart and knows their value exceeds 40,000, he offers to sell his watches in the courtyard for a 30% commission. His name is Sai. He takes the watches from Alex and enters the shop that refused Alex. After a while, he comes out having successfully made a deal and sold them all easily. Alex is impressed by Sai's skill in negotiation, my friend. He wants to know how he managed to sell them. And Sai agrees. He knows him versus Alex knows him. He brought the hours. How did the days pass? We find out that they became partners, with one sourcing and bringing in goods and the other selling them. The time comes to pay the college fees, and he indeed pays the first installment and buys the books. But suddenly, he realizes that this isn't the life he wants. He decides not to go to university and instead focuses on the University of Money. He gives the books he has to a kid, probably instead of buying new ones, and starts working more on luxury watches, jewelry, and credit card hacking. Things were quite a scene, my friend. One day they are at a night event and one of Sai's friends gives him a customer's credit card who stayed over at their place earlier, but he's rude and she doesn't want to take anything from him, thinking he deserves it. The surprise is that the card has a very large amount on it. Alexei withdraws a large sum from it. One day, online, he discovers that the bank where his mother used to work has a weak and outdated e-security. He decides to take down this bank because they fired his mother and wanted to seize their house. He helps him even though this operation doesn't involve any money, a risky operation aimed solely at revenge. He enters the bank as a worker, opens an account, he manipulates and inserts a flash drive into the employee's computer. This flash drive contains a virus, but he doesn't manage to escape and security catches him. They take him to a private room. Mr. Kosai follows him, causing a commotion. We live in luxury. We might all end up in the police van, but the manager is about to call the police when Alex offers to upgrade their security system for free to let them go. He explains that it's best to let them go, as if it becomes public, the bank's reputation will suffer, customers will withdraw, and it will go bankrupt. The manager is convinced and agrees. An hour later, Alex upgrades the security system and my friend is freed. Kosai nearly went crazy, trying to understand how Alex got out of it like that. Although the bank stories were kept secret, they became known on the dark web, and Alex became famous on the dark internet for how he managed to design a virus that could destroy the bank's security program in seconds. Even Yazid himself sends him a message acknowledging what my friend did. One day, Alex returns home and finds his friend Sai has accessed his account on the dark web, and set up a meeting with a girl for him, saying, "Man, you've become famous, and I found this girl who sent you a message. I talked to her pretending to be you, and in short, I arranged a meeting for you with her. The girl's name is Kira, and she has a lot of experience in hacking. Meeting Alex is also a business interest for her." Indeed. That evening, he meets Kira at the cafe, and they get along. They agree to collaborate and benefit from each other's expertise to form a team. As time goes by, we keep discovering new talents in Kira. She teaches them how to create fake visas and use the Tor browser, which is my friend, and how to commit fraud with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, and others. Just like that, my friend. And a girl like us opens up new fields for them in systems. Even in the business of luxury watches and jewelry, Kira was skilled and knew how to sell them better than Sai, and that was what puzzled Sai. He asks her how she does all that, and who is helping her. She would reply that her uncle is the one helping her find the currency she sends them. But over time, Sai's doubts about this girl start to grow. The girl is actually skilled in everything and nothing is difficult for her. And she has a large amount of currency that she uses to sell them stolen goods and at the same time is skilled in hacking and electronic transactions. He is very puzzled about why she would deal with them when she knows everything herself. And when he expresses his doubts, he sees that this girl is perfectly fine and that you're suspicious. One day, the girl suggests going to Hong Kong. There, opportunities and markets are bigger. She suggests they travel alone without his friend, but he tells her that his only friend is not just his partner, and he can't abandon him. Preferably, his friend is asleep, but he was awake, listening to everything, and you get more charged, my friend, from this girl. And the time comes when they carry out the biggest operation in their work, and they have a big car full of goods, and Kira is the one who brought the customers to buy it all at once. And here, Saib has had enough of Kira. How does she know all these people? Do they look like state police or what? So he gets involved in the deal and tells them we need to build trust between us. And he decides that he won't sell the entire batch. Take a small amount and I'll sell the rest. But Kira refuses this and asks them to complete the deal and buy the entire quantity. The situation becomes chaotic between Sai and Kira, and the buyers feel like they're being played. They hold them at gunpoint, causing a big commotion. The men fire shots into the air, threatening to kill them, and they vow not to deal with them again or buy anything from them. They tell them, if we see you selling to anyone in the city next time, you won't be walking on your feet at all. A little later, we see them sitting quietly. Kira thinks that Sai's stupidity will ruin them, but Sai believes he is right because she is a burden on them like a clover leaf. The story ends with Alex reconciling them as their quarrel is not good for their business. At night, they notice a police officer standing in front of their car. He inspects it and then leaves. Because of this, Alex sees that they have become unsafe in this place. He suggests that they move to a new location. And They sit and look at each other, but Saib suggests, what do you think about going to Hong Kong? And indeed, they travel to Hong Kong. They decide to enjoy themselves a bit, indulging in luxury hotels and finding a new place that could serve as their private office. They go shopping, my friend, for branded watches, jewelry, and collectibles, all for free. Despite the money flowing like rain, Alex felt bored and that the days were all the same. Regardless of the money, he wanted to take revenge on the banks that exploit the poor and low-income individuals. But Sai, with the abundance of money, starts to lose control and creates more problems, including one that lands them in jail. He is surprised that Kira got them out so easily, and she tells them that it's her uncle who does all this. Sai wants to prove to himself that he still has the talent and can buy and sell. One day, he goes out and returns with a large sum of money from the things he sold. However, the problem is that the fool used a card that he was originally forbidden to use, and it's the same card that the girl at the bar gave them. Here, Alex angrily tells Sai he is a liability, threatening to ruin everything in 60 seconds. In the end, he asks him to take his share and leave, and Kira doesn't try to calm the situation. She remains silent, as if what's happening is exactly what she wants. Eventually, Sai takes a stand, goes to pack his clothes, and leaves. In the following days, he thinks about how to get Ziza's attention so he can meet him, as he sees him as a role model and wants to get to know him personally. Kira tells him that to meet the commander, he needs to do something significant that impacts the global financial system. They come up with the idea of attacking all the ATMs in Hong Kong at the same time. And indeed, they do that. They managed to make more than 2 million in one day. And every time, they left the Visa card they used to withdraw. But the problem isn't the amount. The problem is that people will lose trust in dealing with banks. On that day, Cora says she's fed up with this life, and she doesn't know how long she'll keep just collecting money. She decides to quit her job and enjoy her life. She tells Alexei the money they have, if invested, will make them rich, without needing more. But Alex finds it's a silly idea, and while arguing with Kira, each trying to convince the other, they're surprised by a message from Zaid, a friend and dark web owner. Alex learns he has become an honorary president on the dark web, meaning he got promoted, but Alex isn't satisfied and requests meeting the owner. The commander tells him it's impossible. But when Alex learns he wants him for a deal that will cost the banks billions, he tells him someone will contact him. After that, he receives a call with the date and location set for the meeting. Indeed, they go, and the meeting takes place in an abandoned warehouse, a secluded place, heavily guarded by armed guards, and it's terrifying. There, he meets the leader of the dark web. Alex comes with an idea for him. He hopes he will help him do it. The leader agrees to collaborate. He warns them that working with him leaves no room for mistakes. A mistake means death. It's not just his death. No, it includes his family, friends, and everyone he knows. If you carry out tasks, you'll get more than you ever dreamed of. He receives a recorded message from his friend, Sai, who apologizes to him, and he tells him, I'm accountable, brother, and I return to our hotel room waiting for you to discuss. And he wants a second chance, but sees armed people entering with bad intentions, my friend. When Alex and Kira arrive, they are shocked by the scene of his friend lying in the bathtub, murdered. Out of respect for your feelings, my friend, I won't show you the scene. Alex realizes the killer is the man with the visa from the bar girl, and if it weren't for Sai's return, they would have been the ones killed now. Oh brother, glory be to God. He returned to his death, and despite his friend being killed in a brutal way, Alex doesn't take heed and insists on continuing. In the next scene, he arrives in a new city, and the leader has prepared a team for them to execute Alex's plan, which involves staging an incident to assassinate the chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank. Adashirya. And the only beneficiary is the boss, whose account multiplies from about 35,000 to 3,000 within hours. The boss is principled and unconcerned about money, and he asks his men to distribute all the money to Alex and his group. However, Alex and Kira fail to escape, and the police arrest them. Alex wakes up submerged somewhere. The police were beside him, but they don't respond to him. He doesn't understand anything. Finally, they give him a sedative injection. He loses consciousness again. He wakes up in their apartment, now an office. But what kind of office? Everything is broken, from the glass to all the visas. The idea here is that Alex doesn't understand anything or what's happening to him, and how they arrested him and left him like that so easily without a word. He feels that there's something unnatural in his stomach. And the most frustrating thing wasn't the money but he wanted to know Kira's fate and reach her, remembering that she asked him if any trouble occurred to meet her at a specific place in Thailand. Without hesitation, he heads there. At that time, he only has a small amount of money, so he rents a room in a half-star hotel. Every day, he goes to the place where he's supposed to meet Kira and waits for hours, but she doesn't come. One day, he decides to go to an internet cafe to check his email, hoping she sent him a message, out of money, using a client's Visa card. When he accesses the internet, he finds out the founders of the dark web have been arrested, and he forces himself to believe he is the leader, my friend. The news reported Kira was an associate of the leader and died escaping. The employee sees the Visa card he gave her is stolen, so she calls the police. Alex is unaware and focused on the news, overwhelmed. He can't believe. Kira was killed. He loves her. He tries to open his email, hoping for her message, but finds the police at his door. Due to using a fake visa, he is jailed in Thailand and sentenced to 2 years in a monotonous prison where no one around him speaks his language and he can't communicate with anyone. 2 hours of isolation were enough to bring Alex back to himself and make him see the world for what it truly is. He appreciates his parents whom he hasn't asked about, and all he wanted from life was to return to live under their care again. We return to the day when he finishes his sentence and is released in front of the prison. He is surprised by several people waiting for him. "What? Is that you? You're still alive?" And he didn't understand anything. "Weren't you supposed to be dead?" And here Kira starts explaining to him. So Kira was imprisoned for a crime by Hooker, and one of the American intelligence agents sent her to prison, and they agreed that she would help them in exchange for her release. And this help was for her to get to know Elias, get close to him, and work with him, if she could make him fall in love with her even better. All the assistance and clients she was getting, her uncle was helping her. But the truth is that this was assistance from the intelligence agency. We discover that the agent who made a deal with Kira is the same one who posed as the bank manager and destroyed its security system. The intelligence agency's goal was to find the leader, believing his fame would lead them to Zaid. Eventually, they succeeded and captured Zaid. It turns out that Kira was initially pretending with Alex, but she fell in love with him. She became crazy about him and insisted that they release Alex and not imprison him. They agreed to let him go as a state witness, but on the condition that she never meets him again. Kira was forced to agree and buy her lover's freedom, which explains her 2-hour disappearance. We learned that after some time, when the situation calmed down, she searched for him. When she found out he was imprisoned, she used her connections to get him out and brought him a passport so they could travel to his father and mother. From today, there will be no more fake identities, no more action, and no more risks, no more new stories. They will live in it with love and enjoy life and their youth, except for Alex and Kira who don't know yet. It will be a surprise that the dark web leader, before being arrested, transferred more than $500 million to Alex's account under his real name as a payment for the operation he carried out with him. I don't know how my friend will react when they hear this news. And with that, our session is adjourned. If you like the story, don't forget to tell me your opinion in the comments and let me know everything you wish for, as I read each comment and respond to it. Don't forget to share a lot and give a like, because that helps spread the video. If you love action, you'll find it here. If you love thrillers and mystery, we have it. If you love romance, it's available. There's much more to come, so don't forget to visit the channel.